You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
Welcome live to Worthen Arena, where we are about 9.5 minutes away from tip-off of this morning's MAC matchup between the Ball State Cardinals and the Akron Zips. It's women's basketball here on SL Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Good morning to everybody. I'm Brayden Carroll, LJ Shrieve alongside. And LJ, we have an interesting matchup here. Akron, they're above 500. This is a team that isn't used to success like this, but Ball State is one of the first real tough MAC opponents that they face this year, and it's going to be a challenge here on the road.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Thankfully for them, it's a morning game, so they don't quite get the evening environment, but really, it's a pretty good crowd this morning for a 11:30 tip. A lot of people here from the Muncie area showing up, the band piling in, and so they'll still have to deal with a pretty good crowd here in Muncie, Indiana this morning.
And I'm kind of surprised. It's been a long stretch here at Worthen Arena. 2 men's volleyball games yesterday and the day before, but the Muncie faithful isn't tired yet. In fact, the prep band is here. How about that? So we go into this game. Ball State off of a win against Kent State, 66-57. Lachelle Austin showed up in that one, 17 points, 7 of 14 from the field. And Ball State, 38 points in the paint, Kent State 18. That was the difference. And it's a big win for the Cardinals. Yeah, the Cardinals really,
it was a really close game early and throughout pretty much all three of the first 3 quarters, the Cardinals knew that the size was key in that game. They knew they had to dominate in the paint. They came in with that game plan and they executed pretty well, but then you mentioned leading the way. Lachelle Austin did her thing in a bounce back game after being very quiet from the field in the game against Eastern Michigan. And so the Cardinals coming into this one with a lot of confidence, and I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be.
And you look at the MAC standings right now, Ball State far and away the best team in the MAC so far, 5-0, first place, 13-4 on the year. Right behind them is Western Michigan at 4-1, then Buffalo and Toledo, who Ball State has next on Monday at 3-2, alongside Miami, Kent State, and Akron alongside Bowling Green. There's a lot of 3-2 teams in this MAC conference right now, but it's just a race of who can beat Ball State.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They are by far the best team in the MAC, but that doesn't mean that they can't trip up. Every #1 team in their own conference has a game where they trip up, and so they got to come out and play at their best each and every single game. And I think that's also why you see Coach Brady Sally come out and press, like even in the second half. His team is always on the gas. And so I think when you have that sort of mentality, it's going to be easy to play with that passion and hunger to stay #1 in the conference. It's going to be tough to beat them, especially when you're on the road at their home here in Worthen Arena. But I'm not saying that Akron is not a team that can't compete and can't force, a game that they just trip up on.
Coach Saul Lee off of his 250th win as a Cardinal in the Kent State victory. He's looking for 251 this morning. We'll be right back here on the SL pregame show presented by Victory Honda of Muncie, 6 minutes from Ball State Akron.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pride Mark Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards in everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pridemark Construction for your next building project and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
Indiana's top sports media school in 2024 by the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Welcome back to John E. Worthen Arena. Ball State Akron ready to tip off for a women's basketball MAC showdown in just about 4 minutes. I'm Brayden Carroll, LJ Shrieve alongside. We talked about Ball State on the other side of that break. Let's talk about Akron here. They're 9-8, 3-2 in MAC play. This is a Zip squad that has only seen 8 winning seasons in MAC play. This is an impressive start for them, but you look at their wins, their best win so far net-wise is against 109th Cleveland State. They haven't really played anybody, haven't beaten anybody, so this is a huge test.
It's absolutely a huge test, but you go back to that schedule and you just play the teams that are on your schedule. And so the fact that they have a winning record right now, and also all that really matters for these teams in the MAC is you got to win in conference play. And so far, them sitting above 500, competing with a lot of those teams that are sitting at that same 3-2 spot, you're giving yourself a chance to put yourself in MAC tournament play.
And you look at this Akron squad, what should we expect from the Zips in this one?
The Zips love to move the ball around the perimeter and set ball. They work off a lot of ball screens. It's a very fluent motion. So it should be very interesting to see how the Cardinals defend them, because when they work off those fluid ball screens, they just look to move it around the perimeter and they cut off the ball a lot. The non-shooters, when someone drives, they are looking to make a flash cut towards the basket. That's how a lot of their points come in the paint.
Coach Ryan Gensler in his second year at Akron. They were 11-18 last year, 9-8 this year. Certainly some improvement from that squad. Looking at both teams, what are the impact players in this one?
You know, it's going to be interesting to, obviously, you point out for the Cardinals, you see Allie Becky, but then for the Zips, you look over and Alexis Mobley, I think it'll be interesting to see how she plays. She shoots the ball fairly well from the field goal area. She's shooting 42%. The three-pointer, not necessarily her favorite shot, but she will take them, shooting at 28%. But she can get a bucket. Like I said, working off those fluid ball screens where they just chase them, and she can come off and attack and finish with a lot of strength and inside. And that's something that you need to do if you want to compete against this Ball State team, because they are very physical in the paint.
Mobley coming off a game against Central Michigan. Akron lost 75-55. She only scored 7 points, and she was below her percentages on all of her shots. 3 of 12 from the field, 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. 4 personals in that game as well. You look at how Akron played against the Chippewas. They were outscored 24-8 in the second quarter. This is a Ball State team that they come at you in surges, and you can't let that happen at any point in this game if the Zips want to stay alive.
You have to be extremely mentally tough when you play the Ball State Cardinals. Like we said earlier, they keep their foot on the gas. They will press even when they're up by 30. And so you cannot let that sink in and disrupt your mentality of this game. You got to stay focused on what you can control. And if the Zips are able to do that, I think they can compete today.
I want to ask you, LJ, did you know that we had a Coke Zero sponsorship? That's big.
No,
that's big for Sports Link.
Yeah, that is huge. I did not.
I didn't know that we were that big of a brand, but hey, there we go. I heard it on that last break, and it really fired me up. I'm a big Coke Zero guy. Are you Coke Zero or Diet Coke?
So, an interesting fact about me is I actually do not really drink anything that has fizz in it.
Really?
Yeah, since from a young age, haven't really liked it. The only thing I do or I have drank that's fizzy is the occasional, energy drink if I need to get going in the morning, but that's not something I tend to do too often.
I do. In fact, I'm off of one right now. I won't say the brand because I don't think we have a sponsorship with them, but 200 milligrams of caffeine for this one. This should be a fun one. We're getting ready for the national anthem tip-off in just a little bit. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups and keys to the game. You're listening to the SL pregame show. Next up is tip-off. Ball State Akron. Don't go anywhere.
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU Sports Link.
Indiana's top sports media school in 2024 by the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Welcome live to John E. Worthen Arena, where we are moments away from the tip-off of this early morning women's basketball MAC showdown between the 13-4 Ball State Cardinals and the 9-8 Akron Zips. I'm Brayden Carroll, LJ Shrieve alongside today, and let's get right into the starting lineups for both of these teams. For Ball State, it's the same lineup that we saw against Kent State. At guard, number 0, Allie Becky, making her 119th start. Number 11, Lachelle Austin, beside her alongside another guard. And number 24, Madeline Bischoff, making her 75th start. And at the forward slots, it will be number 14, Marie Kiefer, and number 20, Alex Richard. You look at the Akron Zips, and for them, they will have number 2, Alexis Mobley, making her 14th start of the season. Another 14th start player out there is forward number 3, Shelby Brown. Emily Hall, the number 5 guard, a redshirt senior on this squad, is out there as well. Zakia Rashid, number 23, in her 4th start of the year. And at the center slot is number 14, Lisa Taponen. 2 great lineups in this matchup. It'll be fun. What are the keys, LJ, to victory for both of these teams?
For Akron, I think it's you have to get off to a hot start, because you got to bring the energy and bring some momentum with you to start this game. You cannot allow the Cardinals to get going here early. For the Cardinals, you could obviously say the opposite, but I'm also going to say control the offensive rebounding game. If they are able to do that, typically the team that does that, they win. This Akron team has a lot more size than a lot of the recent MAC teams that the Cardinals have played. The bigs for the Cardinals, Marie Kiefer and Alex Richard, have been so dominant in their last couple games, and so it'll be interesting to see how they match up against not necessarily, a huge front court for the Zips, but they definitely have more height than most teams in the MAC.
The Zips have a chance. They're going to have to capitalize all 4 quarters, is the message surely from Coach Gensler for his squad. Akron wearing the all blues with the gold trim. Ball State, they're wearing the all whites with the gray numbers and the red trim. This is a fun environment today. You mentioned it during the pregame, LJ. I also wasn't expecting a crowd like this for an early 11 a.m. tip-off. I'm sure a lot of these fans might have been at the 2 men's volleyball games, number 6 Ball State against number 5 BYU. And, I guess the weekend isn't here yet for the Cardinal faithful. They're still in season form.
Yeah, and those games were late and long, and so it's impressive, to get right back in your seats here in Worthen Arena. But to their point, why wouldn't you come watch some good women's MAC basketball this morning? This Ball State team's fun, and this Akron team really matches up much better than some of the other teams. Some of the other teams may have bigger names or better players, but the matchup at each position, I think Akron holds a very solid opportunity to match up with the Cardinals very well.
forward Shelby Brown is, I think, the most interesting matchup for whoever is going to be guarding her on Ball State's end. Averaging 10.3 points per game, 8.1 rebounds per game. She is a big factor down low for the Zips. Ball State's going to be moving left to right, Akron right to left. Both teams in their huddles getting ready for tip-off. No surprise who's going to take the tip-off for the Zips. It's 6'5", Lisa Taponen, and for Ball State, her matchup at center court is going to be number 14, 6'2", Marie Kiefer. The prep band on their feet. Charlie Cardinal moving around. He's had a busy 3-day stretch too.
Yeah, no kidding. Gotta be his busiest weekend of the year.
Tip-off won by the Cardinals, and Allie Becky will take it across the stripe for Ball State. Clock rolling, here we go. Madeline Bischoff, top of the key. Guarded closely by Mobley. Now Allie Becky, right arc, double teamed, and a tip out. Hall got her hand on it, and it will be a near side inbound for Ball State with 16 on the shot clock.
Impressive communication there from the Zips. Good trap off Becky on the screen. If they want to have some success early, they will need to slow her down.
Kiefer pass to Austin, left wing, down low. Richard getting some work, spinning around. Taponen doesn't get it to go. Fight for the rebound, whistle, and a foul on Marie Kiefer. She was almost upended down low. So the Zips come up with a stop. 9:30 to go in the first, and it's knotted up at 0.
It was a missed opportunity there from the Cardinals as Richard caught it on that low block. Becky came off a staggered screen, and they just missed her. She was wide open.
Akron Zips doing some work. Brown pass to Mobley. Top of the key three, and an air ball, and ball goes out of bounds. Hall tried to get the rebound. Her foot was on the line, so Ball State, they get a stop of their own, and they will have possession.
Kind of back-to-back ugly shots there from both squads. So nothing really going here in the first 50 seconds.
We'll see if Ball State can get some points on the board here. Austin, top of the key. Finds some space, pass Kiefer. Near side, just inside the arc. Pass to Becky. Dribble move, step back, three ball, good. Allie Becky with the first points of this one. 3-0 Ball State, 8:52 to go. And full court defense by the Cardinals. Becky tips the inbound out. It'll stay with Akron.
Yeah, that's Allie Becky's go-to shot. I don't know if there's a shot that she likes any more than that. And then right back at it, they will pick up full court. Allie Becky, known for her scoring and playmaking, but also the ability to steal the basketball is very, very impressive.
Akron gets it cleanly across the timeline here. Brown heading down low on Kiefer. Her shot is tipped, blocked, and out of bounds. It'll stay with Akron, but no surprise that Marie Kiefer is doing some work down in the restricted zone.
Yeah, no surprise. All-time leader in blocks for the Cardinals. She's going to have a busy night, especially with the more size that the Zips have.
Inbound under the backboard. Gets it into Brown. She moves in, a whistle blown, and a travel. She was in the restricted zone, double-teamed, and lost her footing. A turnover, Ball State basketball, 8:30 to go, up 3-0. Substitution here for the Cardinals as MJ, Malaya Johnson, checks in for Marie Kiefer.
So that's a quick sit there for Kiefer, but Johnson, who's slowly figured out the offense more and more, getting some early minutes here in this one.
Johnson, pass out to Becky, top of the key. Now Austin with it. Give to Richard, same spot. And over to Becky. 10 seconds on the shot clock as Austin has it right wing. Over to Becky. Bischoff, Johnson. Bischoff, three ball, far corner, no good. Rebound made by Akron. That's Rashid taking it across the stripe. Guarded by Austin and Becky. And a reset here for Akron. Great bounce pass down to Taponen in the move. Ball tipped, stripped by Richard, out of bounds. It will stay with Akron, and Ball State is doing some work early on the defensive end.
You said it. That was a phenomenal pass. Good heads-up play there, but then the Cardinals just, I mean, they came out of nowhere to trap that one. It looked like there was going to be a free layup, but the Cardinals luckily come over and get a stop.
Brzezicki in for Hall for Akron, and she has the ball out of the inbound on the right wing. Guarded by Richard, pass out, now Rashid with it. Cross-court pass, near side, Mobley moving inside, double team down low, and a shot clock violation. Another turnover for Akron, and Ball State continues their defensive work. We are 2.5 minutes into this one, and Akron still has a goose egg on the board, 3-0, Ball State.
Very impressive defense and a shot clock violation. That's a momentum booster for the Cardinals.
Bischoff deep in the left wing, pass to Becky. Ball State moving left to right. Double team at the top of the key, and she gives to Bischoff. Near side, moves in, mid-range jumper, and it's a swish. Madeline Bischoff with her first points of the game, and it is 5-0, 7:06 to go in the first. Ball State leads. Akron quick on the other side. Brown has it. Down low, triple teamed by Kiefer Johnson. And correction, that was Bischoff, Kiefer, and Richard. Back out, Akron has the top of the key. Mobley top of the key. Falls to the ground, and a kickball, I believe, on Austin. Of course, not a personal, but just a reset inbound under the basket. And a substitution here for Akron as Nira Clark comes in for Lisa Toponen.
The Zips have really been attacking, looking for those cutters, but the Cardinals just trapping and putting their hands up. It is tough to find anyone. Cardinals playing very, very good defense right now.
Akron, a steal right there by Alex Richard. A bounce pass by Toponen ends up right in her hands. Other end in transition. Bischoff, she'll take a corner three on the left side. No good. Rebound, Akron. Across the timeline, Rashid has it. Right wing. Tight defense from the Cardinals. Mobley, left wing. She'll pass. Clark down low. A whistle and a foul by Ball State. That one is on Malia Johnson, her first, and another substitution here for Akron as Emily Hall, the regular starter, back in it for Alexis Mobley, another starter.
We talked about the different starters that Akron has thrown out there this season before we hopped on air, and I guess it makes sense to why they just have so many substitutions.
Shelby Brown out of the inbound, down low, just outside the restricted zone, tough layup, rolls in. Double team, doesn't matter, 5-2. As Akron ends up on the board with 6 to go in the first. Allie Becky on the other end. Pass to Johnson, down low. Richard has it. She takes a shot outside the zone and no good. Rebound Akron. Other end, Brown has it, who just scored on the other possession for Akron. Double team near side and stolen by Austin. A whistle and a foul on Akron, so it will stay with Ball State. And that's a big win for the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals play a very physical style of basketball on the offense, but especially on the defensive end. They are not afraid to be scrappy, and that's what LA did right there. A very impressive steal, and then Becky came over to help. Gets tripped up on the way down, but that's just some good physical basketball.
Marie Kiefer back in the game for the Cardinals. Allie Becky double team deep out. Sydney Bolden, who just checked in. She'll take a three, no good. Rebound. Akron, correction, that was Austin who took that. Bolden still on the bench. Across the timeline, Emily Hall has it. Between the rings, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time for Akron. A chance to tie it up. And a pass sails out of bounds and a missed opportunity early. Akron already dealing with some turnover problems as that is number 6.
Yeah, and into the game, Grace Kingery, the freshman, who has lit it up here as she started to light it up towards the end of non-conference play, but here in the MAC, she has been on fire. She shoots the three ball as good as anyone in the country, and the Zips will have to contest every time she touches the ball.
Off-ball whistle with Ball State in possession. That one will be on Akron. Zakia Rashid, her first personal.
Also, just going back a little bit to that last possession, that pass from Allie Becky from the left wing to the right corner was unreal with the double team. Very impressive play. Although the shot didn't go, the vision that Allie Becky has is such an advantage for this Cardinal team.
Inbound to Kingery, pass Austin, and now Kiefer has it top of the key. Guarded by Clark. Down low, Richard doing some work on Toponen, and off the glass layup falls. 7-2, Cardinals lead 4:44 in the first. The first bucket by Alex Richard, the senior, in her 40-second start. In transition, pass tipped down low by Alex Richard out of bounds, and we will have our first media timeout as Akron will have it out of the break. Don't go anywhere. Ball State leads 7-2 over the visiting Zips. 4:36 left to go in the first. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
All the chirp you can handle, and right now Akron's getting all of it from the Cardinals. 7-2, Ball State leads with 4:36 to go in the first. I'm Brayden Carroll alongside LJ Shrieve, who I've been pronouncing your name wrong for, I think I've said your last name about 6 times. Usually the problems arise when you're mispronouncing the names of players, and I want to apologize to you.
Oh, it's all good. No worries. You know, the name spells like it should. It sounds like it would be Shrieve, but it's all good. It's actually pretty funny. My 4th grade bus driver, that's all she would call me when I would check in and check off the bus. LJ Shrieve. And I didn't have the confidence to correct her. I was ready I didn't want to hear it anymore, so I kind of just left it at that. But I think I've heard Shrieve multiple times. It's no big deal, and you're exactly right. Usually it comes from the players. There's times where you check the opponent's roster and you're like, oh man, some of these names, it's going to be tough. Thankfully, Akron, not too bad. It's pretty solid, and then same thing for the Cardinals. Pretty easy names over here.
You look at how this game is going so far, LJ. Akron, they need to clean up their turnovers. 5-0 is the margin right now. Cardinals playing a clean game, and if Akron wants to stay in this, they have to as well.
That's definitely something that is being talked about in that huddle right now, because we talked about the pressure that the Cardinals bring, especially on the defensive end. After a made bucket, they will be picking up full court. Even after some misses, the guards will be picking up full court. And that will force a lot of turnovers for a team that doesn't have confidence with the ball. When there's pressure brought, you need to stay calm, cool, and collected and trust that you have the ability to handle the basketball. The Akron Zips need to contain the ball and just realize how important it is. Coach Sally talks about in practice all the time. If you're throwing away a ball, that's about $70, $100 right there. You do not want to be throwing $70 to $100 out the window.
Rashid inbound for Akron. Down low, Mobley has it. Shot spinning around, and that is a low percentage attempt. Ball State easily rebounding. Other end, Allie Becky, pump fake, thought about a 3. Heading in, blocked by Taponin. Great defensive effort by the Zips. Other end, Akron. Cross-court pass, Mobley, corner 3, near side, off the back of the iron. No good, rebound, Austin. Ball State moving fast across the stripe. Austin solo, down low, she'll give to Richard, and she gets a bucket. Down low, 9-2, her 4th point of the game. 4 minutes to go, and the Cards still chirping away.
Richard continues the hot hand from her past couple games. Since coming back from injury, she has been so dominant, and the confidence she is playing with when she gets her touches inside the paint is unreal.
Akron needs something here. This is getting away from them early. Hall, top of the key, guarded by Becky. A tip on the basketball, and Hall maintains possession. Back out of her hands, and a steal by Richard. And another turnover as Mobley is there for the transition pass to Becky. No harm, no foul. Akron has it with a new shot clock. Down low, Mobley, great move on Becky. And she gets the bucket off the glass. 9-4, her first bucket 3:16 to go in the first.
Man, that was some sloppy, crazy basketball. Good call there, Brayden.
Becky, double team, pass, Austin, down low, Kiefer, guarded by Toponen. 14 on 14, a pass to Becky, stolen. In transition, Rashid Hall, and she's fouled on the way to the basket. That one's Allie Becky's foul to give. And we'll see if this is free throws or inbound. And it will be 2 free throws for Emily Hall. She's only attempted 8 so far this season. 7 of 8, by the way. Although she hasn't had many, pretty high percentage. Grace Kingery checks in for the Cardinals, and the first one falls.
Yeah, no matter how many free throws you shoot, if you're shooting it at that high of a percentage, it's pretty impressive as she goes 2 for 2 there at the line.
Big buckets for Akron. 9-6, one possession game with 3 to go in the first. Ball State with the lead and the basketball. Becky across the stripe, top of the key. Pass down low, leading to Kiefer, almost out of bounds, saved out to Kingery. Now Becky with it double teamed between the rings. Doing some work, dribble move, out, Kiefer left wing. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Madeline Bischoff has it. Almost stolen, stuck on a pivot foot, pass out to Alex Richard, ends up out of bounds, and it stays with the Cardinals, but there's 3 seconds on the shot clock. Not much time to do some work.
Yeah, that was one of the more ugly possessions I've seen from the Cardinals all season long. It looked like they were very stagnant. They weren't sure really what they were doing. The dump down low to Kiefer along the baseline, just way off on that pass, and they're going to try it again.
And a great leading pass to Kiefer. She's fouled on her way to the basket, courtesy of Allie Becky, who delivered a dime to her in the restricted zone, and that's 2 free throws thanks to the great inbound.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal look, and Akron I'm not really sure what they were doing on defense, because the other 3 Cardinals that were looking for the inbounds pass were lined up around the logo, and so it's not like Alex Richards firing a 3 from way downtown, maybe a handoff to Becky, but there was no help there for Kiefer, and that's just an easy pass and an easy opportunity at the line.
Both free throws missed by Marie Kiefer, a 71% free throw shooter on the season. Akron has it on the other end. Vasicki, who just checked in. Right wing, guarded by Bischoff. Pass out, Rashid has it. Correction, Clark. Hall, handoff, Mobley. Stolen, and Kingery ends up with the basketball. Ball State, another Zips turnover. That is the 6th of the game. Other end, Kingery, high 3% shooter. Down low, Richard, tough shot outside the paint. Offensive board and a pass by Richard sails to the other side, and that is a half-court violation and a half.
I'm not necessarily sure what it is, but the Cardinals are just struggling with a lot of the simple things that they succeed at. You know, it's unusual basketball for them to be playing this sloppy, especially this late into the first quarter, only putting up 9 points. That's very, very rare for this Cardinal team. Akron doing their thing defensively and hanging in there on the offensive end.
Tessa Towers checks in for Alex Richard as Akron has it on their side of the court. Toponen, top of the key. Pass to Hall. Top of the key, Rashid, 3-ball, good. And we have a tie game, 9-9 with 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. Allie Becky on the other end. The Zips have some energy. Down low, Bischoff, easy layup down. Cutting, weaving through the defense. 11-9, her 4th point of the game. 11-17 in the first. Akron has it. Pass to Rashid. Thought about a 3 on the far arc. Other side, Hall. Heading in on Becky. No space and pass back out to Clark. Toponen, she gives to Vasicki. Deep 3, far side, no good. Rebound Kiefer. Ball State has it. Across the stripe, under 60 to go in the first quarter. Becky. Near side, Kiefer. Kingery now back to Becky, top of the key. Feeding pass down to Bischoff, and she's fouled hard by Toponen. 2 more free throws for this Cardinal squad.
That's something that Bischoff does very well that will never show up on the stat sheet. She comes off a screen, with so much speed, and then also just the ability to catch and maintain the ball and understand, should I stop and shoot or should I take it to the paint and hopefully either make it or get fouled. She takes it and earns a trip to the line there. She is so good at coming off those screens and understanding what to do with the basketball, and the Cardinals relying on that the last 2 possessions.
MJ checks in for Marie Kiefer. First free throw falls for Madeline Bischoff. She's up to 5 points. Her and Alex Richard, the leading scorers so far for Ball State. Second free throw in as well. 43 seconds in the first. Ball State leads by 2 possessions, 13-9. Vishicki has it at the Cardinal logo for Akron. Follows its opponent's screen, heading in through the middle, and no bucket. Tight defense by the Cardinals. MJ with the rebound, and Ball State moving across the stripe. No shot clock as Coach Salih calling for this to be the last possession of the first quarter. Austin dribbling it out. Hall hovering over her. Makes her move with 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Double teamed and a jump ball forced. That is a great effort by the redshirt freshman. Possession arrow goes to Akron. That's a big mistake by Ball State.
Yeah, it's interesting to look. I was curious what they were going to do without Allie Becky, the one who is known to knock down those quarter-ending buzzer beaters, and it ends in a turnover.
5 seconds. Hall has it. Cross the stripe. Ball tipped by Austin out of bounds. It'll stay with the Zips, but now they only have 2.3 to work and probably need a shot right out of this far side inbound. Vishicki looking. Down low. Finds Mobley. Can't get a clean pass, and Austin gets the board. Can't get a shot up, and that's how the first quarter will end. Ball State leads 13-9 over Akron. Don't go anywhere. We still have 10 more minutes in this first half. 30 minutes in this game. This is SL Digital Women's Basketball presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pridemark Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards in everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pridemark Construction for your next building project and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena. We are 1 quarter in, and the Cardinals lead 13-9 over the visiting Akron Zips. I'm Brayden Carroll, LJ Shrieve alongside, and so far it's been messy, but Ball State has the advantage, and we're looking for Akron to just get going here. 3 of 9 from the field, 1 of 4 from beyond the arc, 7 turnovers. That cannot happen for the rest of the game.
No, we've talked about the pressure that the Cardinals bring, and the turnovers for the Zips have just been super sloppy. Some of them have been in the paint where the Cardinals are trapping, but not necessarily using their hands to try and get a steal. It's necessarily just been they're afraid of the pressure, and they just lose the ball and make a silly pass or just dribble right off their foot. And so, obviously, there's going to be some that are in your control but also out of your control. But then they've had, I'd say, half of their turnovers have just been rough ones that they just lose in the paint and stuff that they can improve on as this game goes on.
So far, it's been Madeline Bischoff and Alex Richard leading the charge. Bischoff with 6 points, 2 of 4 from the field. And Richard, she has 4 of her own alongside 2 steals. They will need to continue play, but we're kind of expecting the other players to step up as well. Allie Becky only 3 points so far. Marie Kiefer hasn't hit the board yet, but she has 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Ball State will start off with possession, moving left to right once again. Allie Becky across the timeline as the clock gets rolling here in the second quarter. Madeline Bischoff deep in the left wing. Guarded by Liz Murphy, the freshman guard. Back out. Austin has it. Top of the key, moving inside on the far side. Alex Richard at the MAC logo down in the paint. Out to Bischoff. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Austin, pump fake, left wing. Moves up to the top of the key. Now Becky has it. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Hovering pass over other side. 3 ball, no good by Madeline Bischoff. Ball sails out of bounds, and it took all of the shot clock, but Akron starts off the second quarter with the stop.
Once again, the Zips are just matching up against the Cardinals very well defensively. They are forcing them to take uncharacteristic shots and just forcing uncharacteristic possessions with the basketball. The Cardinals really struggling.
Murphy takes a 3, no good. Rebound, Ball State has it. A quick possession goes empty for Akron. Other end, Austin, pass to MJ, top of the key. Pass over to Kiefer now. She dishes back to MJ. Down low, far side, guarded by Toponen. Back out to Kiefer. Correction, Bischoff. Austin between the rings. Moves in. Other end, Richard. Down low. Akron wants a travel on that whistle. Instead, it's going to be a foul on the Zips. They'll call that one on Vasicki, her first personal.
Yeah, the whole bench kind of put their hands on their heads and was like, yeah, I don't know about that one, but looks like the Cardinals catch a break, and, you know, they needed that.
Inbound under the basket. Becky takes a 3 out of it, and that one sails far. Rebound Akron. Liz Murphy across the stripe. Her pass to Toponen, stolen by Alex Richard, tipped by Becky. In transition, Becky, tough layup, good. Defense crashing, doesn't matter. And a timeout by Akron. 15-9. Ball State just continues to have that edge over these Zips. It feels like Akron's playing better in the first 90 seconds of the second quarter, but Ball State, they're just on a different level.
The Zips have done a great job defensively, but offensively really struggling to get a bucket. It's been defense on defense throughout this one, and we almost saw on that fast break where Becky was soaring down the court out of nowhere. Alex Mobley came flying in and almost made a, well, she did make a great play, but Becky just was able to handle the pressure and finish the layup. But like I said, both teams struggling offensively. I'm curious to see how the Zips are able to get around that, because I feel like as this game goes on, the Cardinals just get better and better as each quarter goes. And the Zips, I'm curious if they're going to be able to just run their offense that they've been running through the first quarter and then the first 90 seconds of this one. It has not gotten them anywhere, and it's not like they've been getting good looks either.
And this is really a big lead. 15-9, 6 points doesn't seem like it, but the way that this game has been going, it feels like, you consider a normal game, 10, 15-point lead in comparison. It just seems like Akron is so far behind offensively that this is a big lead for Ball State.
I completely agree with you, and I mean, you look at the scoreboard, they have 9 points, so a 6-point lead, that's a pretty big lead, you know. Although if you're just walking into Worthen Arena or you're just tuning in and you are 15-9, well, you're looking at, well, first off, you're just confused. I mean, we're in quarter number 2, 15-9, must be a, back and forth defensive game, which that's what it is. But that's a big lead for the Cardinals, and that fast break layup was huge. And I feel like that's an opportunity for the Cardinals to get going. It forced a timeout from the Zips, and so it clearly felt like the Zips clearly felt like the Cardinals had some momentum going after that layup, and so they needed to cut that off. What they're going to come out of this timeout with should be interesting to look for. I'm curious if they look to go more 4 out, 1 in, and just start dumping it down low, because they do have the size advantage. Down low, Toponen 6'5" against Richard, who's about 6'1", 6'2", similar size, but just that extra 3 inches. If you can dump it down and at least get some better looks, I don't know how they're going to find better looks with the offense that they've been running.
15-9, Ball State leads over Akron. 8:33 to go in this second quarter. This is brought to you by Ball State Sports Link, Victory Honda of Muncie. If you aren't a regular listener, you might not know that this is made all by college students. And if you're a high school student out there and you're thinking, I wish I could get a piece of that action, well, SportsLink is hosting a high school sports media summit on February 18th, where students and teachers can listen and meet industry professionals in the media field. For individuals, registration is closed, but for groups, including schools, it is still open. More information on ballstatesportslink.com. Ball State will start defensively here. Akron moving right to left out of that timeout. Full court defense by the Cardinals. Zips can't get it cleanly across the timeline. In transition, Austin bounce pass, Bischoff down low. MJ takes over and back out to Austin. They'll reset. Richard moving in from the charity stripe. Off the glass and in. And one. Tough shot, tough make.
Yeah, that's a tough finish down low from Alex Richard, as she has an opportunity to convert on the three-point play. We talked about how big of a lead they had. Being able to convert on an and one here would be huge for the Cardinals to double the Zip score.
And one good. A three-point play for Alex Richard. She's up to 7 points, and Ball State leads 18-9 with 8:14 to go in the first half. Akron looking for something here. Vasicki, pass to Rashid. Over to Hall at the Cardinal logo. Becky hovering over her. Pass Vasicki, handoff Rashid. Still moving around the perimeter as Mobley has it. Goes into the mid-range and a foul on Ball State. Correction, an illegal screen on Akron. That one is going to be on Clark, her second personal, the freshman, Neva Clark. It's not what you want to see from one of your more productive freshmen, is early foul trouble. Ball State has it. 7:40 to go in the first half. An open three by Bischoff. She'll take it at the top of the key, and that's no problem.
Yeah, that's someone you cannot leave open, especially from the three-point line. She shoots it at such a high clip, and then also just with the confidence that Maddie carries when she shoots the ball. So far, she is leading the team with 9 points. I do not see that slowing down anytime soon.
Vasicki, miss. Akron can't buy a bucket from beyond. 21-9, Ball State leads. Down low, Richard pass, Kiefer, who just checked in for MJ. Bischoff, top of the key. Down low, Richard spinning around, fouled on her way. Can't get the bucket, but 2 free throws for Alex Richard. She's already been to the stripe, 1 of 1 trip on that last and one.
Something that I'm looking at right now, as we've talked about the Zips struggling to score the basketball, the team only has 1 assist right now. You're not going to do very well when your team has 1 assist coming from Emily Hall. You need to start spreading the love a little bit more and finding rhythm shots. They are just unable to do so, and that's why the Cardinals have taken these transition points and added them to the scoreboard in such an efficient way.
Second free throw good. A 2 of 2 trip for Alex Richard as she is up to 9 points. Tessa Towers checks in for Madeline Bischoff. Toponen back on the court for Akron as well. We talked about foul trouble for Neva Clark. Well, she is up to 3 personals after that last one on Richard. Inbound tipped, and it stays with Akron. So instead of the baseline, they'll take it on the far side. 7:07 in the second quarter. Cardinals lead 23-9. In transition, pass tipped by Austin, as Rashid was trying to get something going on the fast break. Instead, it will be another inbound, this one underneath the basket for Akron with a full shot clock. Emily Hall, the redshirt senior, looking for somebody. Inbound to Vasicki. Right wing follows a Toponen screen, moving in. Opposite end of the elbow. Hall. Cross-court pass, Vasicki, left wing. Down low, Brown has it. Moving in on Kiefer and Towers, out to Toponen, 6'5". She has the height, off the glass, no good. Rebound, Tessa Towers. Ball State in transition now. Allie Becky, top of the key. Pass, Austin, pump fake, moving in from the far side. Kiefer, right wing, she'll take a three. No good, off the front of the iron. Rebound, Brown, Akron has it. Visicki, other end. Far arc. Moving in on Bischoff. Bischoff falls to the ground. Step back three. Swish. Visicki making a statement. Her first bucket of the game, and it is 23-12. Ball State still leads, but Akron showing some life with 6 to go in the first half. Bischoff, she'll take a three. No good. Ball sails out. Akron possession. And this could be the change of pace that you need if you're the Zips.
That was a huge shot for the Zips and a momentum booster. And a nice three-pointer to add. The Zips shooting it as a team not super well from the three-point arc, but Visicki shooting at a 35% clip. She likes to shoot them but doesn't force them, and she gets a good look right there.
Hall pass to Visicki, the hot hand down low. Feed out to Mobley, moving in on Austin. Back out, Hall has it. In on Kiefer, in the restricted zone. Double team, back out to Mobley. Spinning around the near elbow. Visicki, right wing. Tipped by Becky, out, it will stay with Akron, but there's 5 on the shot clock, and now you really need to up the pace on this possession.
Allie Becky in the face of Visicki after that one, making sure that she knows that she was locked up right there.
Shelby Brown to inbound, 5 on the shot clock. Something quick, Mobley moving in on Richard, tough. Blocked by Kiefer, gets her own rebound, and she misses. Shot clock violation, so Ball State has it. Austin in transition, down low, shot on Brown. Foul by Akron. So 2 free throws here. That's her third. Shelby Brown, another Zip in foul trouble, as Zakia Rashid will check in for her.
Lachelle Austin wasting no time after the inbound, getting downhill quickly and getting sent to the free throw line. Something that LA does very well that she doesn't necessarily utilize too often is getting downhill just on her own, whether she finishes or just ends up getting sent to the free throw line. Also something to note for the Cardinals, the amount of minutes that Tessa Towers is getting in this first half. We have not seen anything like that all year. We thought that could be something that we see, especially with Lisa Toponen at 6'5". We thought Tessa Towers could be getting some more minutes, and she definitely is.
Michelle Austin makes both free throws. 25-14, Ball State leads. Other end, Mobley, near side three, good. That's a big one for the Zips to cut the lead down to 8 with 5:12 to go in the first half. 7 points for Alexis Mobley. Other end, Austin, she'll take a three in response. 28-17, Worthen's jumping after that. 5 to go in the first half. Other end, Rashid, pass, Mobley, thought about another three. She gives to Hall, moving in, charity stripe, Visicki, she'll take one on the near far side, correction, rebound. Madeline Bischoff off the miss. Becky, Austin, give to Kiefer, back to Austin. Deep three, left wing off the front of the iron. Visicki's there for the rebound.
Both these teams just deciding to get some points on the board here, scoring at a high rate the past couple minutes.
Visicki, double team down low, off the glass, no good. Rebound, Kiefer. Zips bench wanted a foul, none given. Becky, top of the key, feed to Towers in the mid-range near side. Give to Kiefer, handoff. Bischoff, three ball, no good in the left wing. And that's another defensive board for the Zips. Akron slowing things down here a bit as Hall just dribbling it out at the Cardinal logo. 28-17, Ball State leads with under 4 to go in the second quarter. Mobley, mid-range, at the elbow, good on the near side. 28-19, she's up to 9 points, the leading scorer by far for Akron.
9 of the team's 19. She started off really struggling on the offensive end, but not anymore.
Bischoff, wide open three again. No problem for the senior. Talk about Mobley's 9 points, while Bischoff has 12 after that three. 31-19, Cardinals lead, 3:20 to go in the second quarter. Hall, give, quick catch and shoot three by Rashid, and I believe that was tipped by Bischoff. Other end, Becky moving in to the paint, out to Tessa Towers, top of the key. Now Austin has it near arc. Guarded by Hall, bounce pass, Towers onto opponent. The two tallest players on either roster. Other end, Bischoff between the rings. Bounce pass, Becky, deep three, left wing, three! How about that? Ellie Becky clapping it up after a deep bomb. She has 8 points, and the Cardinals lead 34-19. 2:40 in the second quarter. Akron needs something to slow the momentum. Mobley, left elbow, mid-range, no good. Rebound, Kiefer. That one bounced off the rim about 5 or 6 times. Becky in transition. Bischoff thought about a mid-range jumper. Pivot foot. Tessa Towers from the charity stripe gets it to go. Tessa Towers, how do you do? 2 points. Cardinals lead 36-19.
Everything is rolling on the offensive end for the Cardinals now. They are starting to get in their rhythm and into their groove. Momentum completely in the Cardinal and white.
Mobley past Rashid, far corner three, another miss by Akron. Rebound, Becky. She gives to Austin, left wing. Moving inside on Vasicki. Opposite layup, no good. Rebound, Akron, and that is the first possession to come up empty in a while for Ball State. Other end, Hall, down low, fouled by Becky, and Coach Salih does not like that call, but that's going to be 2 free throws for the redshirt senior, and she's slow to get up. Helped up by her teammates.
I think the main reason that Coach Sally's so frustrated with that call is because on the other end, when Austin drove baseline and flipped one up with the right hand, Austin did not get the call, and so for it to come down here with a very similar defensive end, you know, he's just frustrated with the fact that that was not called on the other end. A lot of subs coming in for the Cardinals, but man, that last rotation was rolling. And Allie Becky, that's the most passion I've seen her play with all season long, getting in the face of every single Zip.
Malia Johnson, Grace Kingery, Zuri Ransom in for Becky Kiefer and Richard. Both free throws fall for Hall. 36-21. Ball State leads. Other end, MJ. 90 seconds to go in the first half. Moving inside, Austin. Whistle blown. And a foul by Akron. We'll see if that was on the way up or if they will call for an inbound here. It will be 2 free throws. They say that she was in the movement towards a basket. 79% free throw shooter on the season. She started every game so far, 9 games with double-digit points. She's got 5 right now for Ball State.
Akron only have shot 4 free throws this game yet. They've hit all 4. The Cardinals so far 7 for 10. So over double the amount of free throws. They get to the line much more than their opponent.
First free throw, no good. Second attempt goes in. She's up to 6 points, and the Cardinal lead is up to 16, 37-21, with 90 seconds to go in the second quarter. All the momentum was on Ball State's side. Now it's a little quieter. Let's see if Akron can get something here. A foul on Akron. They'll call it a charge on Alexis Mobley as she was crashing in the paint. That is her second personal.
A charge is something that gets the crowd fired up, and it's something that every single player on the court can do. MJ bringing some more momentum in a different way.
Zuri Ransom, the freshman. Pass to Kingery. Now MJ has it, right wing. Few passes in the perimeter. Richard doing some work down low to opponent. Can't stop. Alex Richard from a bucket. She's up to 11 points. Cardinals lead 39-21, 55 seconds to go. 3 ball, Vasicki top of the key, no good, and a rebound again by the Cardinals. Rochelle Austin, right wing. This could be the last possession for Ball State. Pump fake, moving in, spinning at the MAC logo, pass to MJ, sails out. Akron will have possession, but with 37 seconds on the game clock, there will be enough time for another Ball State possession if they can come up with a stop.
Yeah, a little miscommunication on that one between MJ and LA. But you're exactly right. I thought that would be the last possession, but they're going to get at least 7 seconds here.
If they can come up with a stop. Rashid, right wing, pass, Vasicki. Quick three, good. Maybe not the shot you wanted to take there with the time, but she hits it. 6 points for Vasicki. 39-24. Ball State, now they will have the last possession. 5 on the shot clock, game clock correction. Austin, 2 seconds, 3 ball, Kingery, top of the key, rattles out. Almost went in, and Worthen gives out a as she misses. But the Cardinals head into the locker room with a 15-point lead, 39-24 over the visiting Akron Zips. We've still got basketball, ladies and gentlemen. 20 minutes to go, but we have a 15-minute halftime break here. We'll take a quick break as well. On the other end, we'll have the SL Digital halftime show. You're listening to Ball State women's basketball presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Don't you dare go anywhere.
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU Sports Link.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesweets.hamptoninn.com. At munciesweets.hamptoninn.com.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State sports with SportsLink Digital.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
From Trivia Night at Brothers and Tater Tots at Roots.
Never miss a Ball State game with SportsLink Digital.
1 half down, 1 to go. We're at the halftime intermission, and Ball State leads 39-24 over the Akron Zips. I'm Brayden Carroll, LJ Shrieve alongside, and you know, it's a 15-point lead for Ball State. The offenses haven't been necessarily productive. Akron shooting 33%, Ball State 46%, but it's been an entertaining one so far. I mean, there's so much energy both from the players and the crowd.
Yeah, it's been back and forth for a majority of that first quarter and a half, I'd say, and then Ball State really just took it to them. It looked like the Zips were going to respond after a three-pointer there from Vasicki, but ever since then, there's been a little bit of a battle in between the game here between Allie, Becky, and really the whole Akron squad, but especially Maddie Versecki. She has been in her face. Allie, first off, got a steal and was clapping it up right in her face, comes down, drills a three, makes sure that Versecki is aware that that three dropped in, hits another one, and is just in the face. And then the head coach for the Zips have been in communication with the officials throughout the whole second quarter, pointing out his frustration with Becky getting in the face of his players, and the officials have just let it play. That's just some competitive basketball there. And I think the officials have handled this game very well so far, but it's been something to look for and something that I'll continue to watch in the second half. The little battle between Allie Becky and Maddie Versecki.
It's just been a chippy game, really. You look at the stats, there's been 3 personals by Ball State, 11 by Akron, 11 turnovers by Akron, 5 by the Cardinals, 6 steals by Ball State, 3 by Akron. It's been an aggressive affair so far, and we've seen that both from the statistics side and also just the emotional side and what we've read from the coaches and the players. This is MAC basketball. I mean, these teams will see each other again later in the year, and when it's at Akron, I think it'll be even more chippy with how small of an arena Akron has. I'm sure their fans will show up. This is shaping up to be quite the season series.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it leads for awesome storylines as the season goes on and just more to watch in the MAC. As you talked about, the small arena environment is such a fun thing that you get at the mid-major level because it's not necessarily the biggest and the most flashy arenas that you'll play in, but the environments are so electric because the arena is a little smaller. It allows the fans to be packed in, and it's also cool because it brings in a lot of the community members into these games, and so it's pretty awesome to see the environments in the MAC.
We got some downtime here. There are a lot of small arenas in mid-major basketball. Have you ever seen South Carolina Upstate's gym? I have not. I believe it hosts maybe 200 people.
That's
awesome.
It's
incredibly tiny. And their basketball program, I can look up the KenPom rankings right now. I'm talking more about men's basketball here. I don't really know about the women's program at USC Upstate. If you look up women's basketball net rankings, I can look up KenPom rankings for USC Upstate. 331st. They're 5-14 in men's basketball, but their arena is so tiny that they can pack it out every single game. And it's also so tiny, not considering seating, but just the building itself, that it's loud. It's absolutely loud. And then you talk about Akron, they have a much bigger alumni base than a team like that. They'll have more fans, and with the size of their arena, it's loud. I mean, that's what I like about MAC basketball, is the arenas are loud when the fans show up. I mean, I don't know if you remember this, but when Bates, Eastern Michigan's 5-star athlete that they had a couple years ago, when he came to play here at Ball State, the arena was almost packed out. I want to say 9,000 people went to that one. The game went to overtime. It was electric. It's always an advantage to have that many seats, but if you're a team like Akron, you almost want to have less seats. You're looking up the arena size right now. Isn't that a tiny place?
Yeah,
it looks like a high school arena.
It looks like a high school. It looks like Taylor University up the street here from Ball State, which is an NAIA school, and they have their Silent Night game that you can find on Sports Center or on YouTube, and it's an awesome environment because of how small. And when you get a small arena packed, I don't think it's tough to top that.
Like, I think about the Cameron Crazies at Duke. Let's say that Duke's arena didn't have that upper bowl and it was just the Cameron Crazies, and then the building itself is tinier as well. That would be the loudest place in sports.
Yeah, it's already incredibly tough to play there, and I can't even imagine if they shrunk it down to just the Cameron Crazies. Man, I don't think I would hit a shot.
We are deep in halftime conversation. I love this. 6:45 to go. We'll take a break and let you take a breather as well. Still waiting for tip-off here of the second half. 39-24. Ball State leads over Akron. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit about other games in the MAC going on in the next couple days, and we'll preview what needs to happen here, especially for Akron in the second half to get back into it. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
For the best stories, access, and coverage of Ball State sports, follow SportsLink on social media platforms Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Search @BSU SportsLink.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Your home for live Ball State sports, streaming right in your timeline.
This is SportsLink Digital.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Indiana's top sports media school in 2024 by the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters.
This is Ball State SportsLink.
4 minutes from tip-off of the second half. 39-24, Ball State leads over the visiting Akron Zips. I'm Brayden Carroll, LJ Shrieve alongside. Looking at some other games today in the Mid-American Conference. None other have started. This is the earliest tip-off of this Saturday slate. You look at some of these games, there are big ones. Western Michigan, Kent State. We're talking about a Bronco team that's second in the MAC right now with a 4-1 record, and Kent State tied for the bunch of third-place teams that are 3-2.
Yep.
And then you also have Miami, Ohio, Buffalo, 2 3-2 teams. And I was talking about this with you during the break. If you're a 3-2 team right now, you don't want to lose again in the MAC, because Ball State and Western Michigan, 5-0, 4-1, you kind of have to bet that 3 losses, 4 losses, that might be the barrier that leaves you out of that top 2 conversation. And then you look at the MAC tournament itself, there are so many 3-2 teams in this slate. The top 8 are the only teams that make it. And you don't want to end up with 5 or 6 losses down the stretch once you have to play those top-of-the-line teams in the MAC, because then you might find yourself out of the tournament and your season ends after the regular season.
You're exactly right, Brayden. The 3-2 teams, you are just walking along a tightrope right now with your season. You have to win. You're going to have to win some of those tougher road games. For instance, like today, like Akron, sitting in that 3-2 spot, tied with basically half the MAC there. It's going to be really interesting to see how the rest of the season kind of bounces out and how each team plays, especially in those big games on the road, because at home you obviously have a little bit more of an advantage, but those 3-2 teams, whoever wants to come out on top is going to have to win a difficult road game, and so watching for that the rest of the season will be something to pay attention to.
Focusing on this game right now, Akron, their biggest problem right now that I'm seeing is they aren't moving the ball much. You look at their assists, 3. They have 3. That's it. Ball State has 11 for reference. When you're 24 points deep into the match and you only have 3 assists, that's, 6 points that you've gotten out of assists, 25% of your production, and it's not working right now. They need to move the ball around, and they need to get their players more active.
Yeah, and in the first quarter, they had 1 assist, obviously, so when you add that up, in the second they had 2. But that first quarter, they only scored 9 points. Now they only let up 13. So the defense was still there and keeping them in this game. But then in the second quarter, they scored 15. So they scored 6 more points than they did in the first, but they let up 26. So they doubled the 13 that they let up in the first. So the defense dropped off, and the offense didn't necessarily take a huge step up. You mentioned them moving the ball in that little rhythm that both teams kind of were in, where it was kind of back and forth. When the Zips were able to respond, they were moving the ball well. They saw 1-2 passes to an off-ball screen 3 that was just knocked down. You know, stuff like that, because they are not going to do it on their own. There's a couple pull-up jumpers off a screen that you can work with. We've seen Alexis Mobley hit a couple of those where those are good shots. But most of the time, they are just forcing shots. And if they were just able to work the ball, you have 30 seconds on the shot clock. Work until you get a good shot.
And that's what they're going to need to do. Ball State, they've been playing defensively incredibly stout down in the paint. They need to get their 3-ball going if you're the Zips. 4-13 so far. Of course, we have 20 minutes to go here in this one. But next up is men's basketball, the 8-8, 2-2 squad versus Toledo, coming into Worthen Arena with a 3-1 conference record. Tip is at 2 p.m. Of course, that fluctuates depending on when this game ends here. That will be streamed here on SL Digital. Rowan Elbert, the play-by-play, Sam Egan, the color commentator. So don't give your ears a rest yet after this one, because there's more basketball to be played here in Worthen. Out of the break, Akron moving left to right. They will start with possessions. Opponent top of the key. And a pass to Hall. Right wing. Give top of the key. Down low, pass, and a foul by Marie Kiefer. That was Shelby Brown trying to take the pass from Alexis Mobley. The second personal for Alex Richard. Inbound under the basket. Near side, pass sails over the head of Brown. She corrals it between the rings. Give to Mobley, top of the key, over to Toponen, moving around the perimeter. Left wing, now Mobley has it. And a pass tipped, stolen. Credit to Bischoff in transition. Austin blocked by Mobley. Clean and a great play in defensive transition. Akron now has it. Handoff to Rashid. Step back 3, left wing, rattles out, rebound. Shelby Brown, put back good. Great effort early in the second half from the Zips, and it is a 39-26 lead for Ball State.
Yeah, that was very lucky for the Cardinals that 3-pointer did not rattle in, but the put-back rebound.
And an and one on the other end by Madeline Bischoff over the head of Shelby Brown. Moving quickly and a very quick response by the Cardinals. 14 points now for the senior guard as she's heading to the charity stripe as an 86% free throw shooter. And she misses. Front of the iron. Back of the iron, correction. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cards lead 41-26. Mobley, top of the key. Back out to Hall, same spot. Over to Mobley. Follows its opponent's screen, and Richard sniffs it out. Reset to Hall. Pass over. Brown, far corner, moving in along the baseline, off the glass and in.
Shelby Brown starting to find her rhythm there off the putback rebound, and then right there drives baseline in a tough finish. Back-to-back really tough finishes down low. The Cardinals contest heavily in the paint, and she's been able to avoid that and finish.
41-28, Cardinals lead. Alex Richard, top of the key, pass, Austin. Step over 3 in the far wing, no good. Rebound Akron. Mobley across the timeline. His opponent sets the screen, and now Rashid has it. Down low, Brown. Whistle blown on her way, and that is an offensive foul. They'll call that a charge on Shelby Brown, and that is her 4th personal, and she's going to be checked out quick. That's a big loss. Nera Clark now in the game.
Brown, a player that we talked about in the pregame show, she has not really shown a whole lot on the stat sheet. 4 rebounds, 6 points, 4 of the 6 coming in the last 2 possessions. Someone that averages 10 and 8 So the 4 fouls, that is a huge loss for the Zips.
4 players for Akron with 3 or more fouls. Ball State on their side now, moving right to left. Kiefer, top of the key. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Richard at the charity stripe. Mid-range jumper, no good. In and out. Hall with the rebound. Zips have it. Visicki. Top of the key. Handoff Rashid. Moving in on the MAC logo. Over to Deponent, and she feeds it back out. Hall. Rashid, top of the key. 3 ball, no good. Rebound, Austin. In transition, Hall guarding. Cards reset. Kiefer. Back out to Austin. No look pass. Got it to her cleanly. Far baseline bounce pass. Now Richard has it. And Bischoff resets. Moving in on Visicki. Tough layup. Fouled on the way. 2 more free throws for Madeline Bischoff as she'll be attempting her 8th and 9th free throws of this one.
That's impressive, especially for someone that is known to be a outside perimeter-centric shooter. Getting to the line that often, that's really impressive. We talked about how she gets downhill off screens while also just avoiding a screen and then getting to the paint. Impressive drive there. I want to also look back on the Zips' last possession. The ball movement was fluent, and they got a nice-looking shot. Although it didn't go, I think that's more of the offense that you want to see if you're a part of the Zips faithful.
2 of 2 trip for Bischoff. She's up to 16 points, her season high 19 against North Carolina. She's nearing that mark. 7 to go in the third quarter. Cards lead 43-28. Other end, Rashid has it. Near arc, double teamed, bounce pass to Hall. Got that one cleanly somehow. Visicki now has it opposite end. Hall between the rings, follows its opponent's screen. And back to Visicki, catch and shoot, 3, swish. A high arc on that 3 ball, doesn't matter. 9 points for Maddie Visicki. 43-31, Ball State. Other end, Kiefer, bounce pass, great leading pass by Allie Becky. Uncontested down low, despite 2 Zips in the restricted zone, and that's the first bucket by Marie Kiefer.
That's kind of what the seniors do right there, the little fake screen and then cut. It works very well, and they do it.
Turnover, Becky, Kiefer, and 1. Full court defense pays off by Ball State, aggressive as always. Kiefer, after having an empty first half, starts off the second half with 4 points and a chance for 5 with the and 1.
That was just a heads-up play from Becky. She got the steal right away and had her head up and threw the leading pass to her roommate, Marie Kiefer, who knocks down the free throw. Back-to-back assist for Becky, and they go to Kiefer.
Cardinals doing some work in the first 4 minutes of this third quarter. 48-31 lead. And that was the 4th foul by Nera Clark as she checks out. A second Zip with 4 fouls. Becky, another steal. Falls to the ground, and they will say a foul on Emily Hall as she was tied up with Becky going for the basketball. Her first personal. The Zips bench doesn't like that call, but it appeared to be the right one.
Yeah, I think so. The players just got tripped up, and we're only 4 minutes into this, and they are already in the bonus. Wow. That is not something that the Zips had in mind coming out of the halftime break. And after Allie Becky tripped up, she still, even if they didn't call the foul, it would have been a free layup there for Lachelle Austin, but it was all smiles from the seniors in the Cardinal and white.
First free throw good. 84% free throw shooter Allie Becky is. And she makes the second, no problem. She becomes the 3rd Cardinal in this game with double-digit points. That is her 16th game with double digits this season. 6 to go in the third quarter. Cards lead 50-31. Double team, full court defense. Becky, another steal in transition. Kiefer, Becky, behind the back. Kiefer, unreal. Are you kidding me? How about the energy of this team? And Worthen's jumping. 52-31. Come on now.
Oh my goodness. Why not? Throw some flair out there. Allie Becky, BTB. And it was on the money. Who's not on their feet right now?
I mean, is that real?
That was real. Yep, I did just see that. That was real.
I don't know what's more impressive, the 3 steals by Becky in the last 4 possessions by Akron, or the behind-the-back feed to Kiefer. Back and forth they went. Becky with the flash, Kiefer with the bucket. Cards lead 52-31, 5:47 in the third quarter. We'll take a short break to catch a breather. And while we're at the break, how about you go check out Twitter and look up what that looked like, because, man, it was insane. SL Digital Women's Basketball, Victory Honda of Muncie. We'll be right back.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
From trivia night at Brothers and tater tots at Roots.
Never miss a Ball State game with SportsLink Digital.
Worthen Arena. Man, this place has gotten loud before. I don't know if it's gotten as loud as it just was for that Ali Becky transition. Behind the back pass to Kiefer in the finish. 5:47 to go in the third quarter. Cards lead 52-31. I'm Brayden Carroll, LJ Shrieve alongside, and we said Akron needed to play a clean one early here. Well, Ali Becky has managed to get 3 steals in the first 4 minutes, 13 seconds of this third quarter alone. And the Zips, they're looking for answers, and they haven't found any.
They definitely have not found any here in the third. The quick fouls got him in trouble, and then Ali Becky just picked that up right there and took some momentum with her and threw it behind the back. I do think, although right now it's only 12:44 Eastern time, there's a lot of games left. There's some football in the NFL. There's some college basketball, some NBA, but I do think we have a nominee for SportsCenter Top 10 right there. I think that should be considered.
I mean, they should bring the chain out here. When Ali Becky's playing at Worthen, she is a SC Top 10 threat every single time. Let's bring out that chain. I saw who had it, right? No, Jack Sawyer had it.
Yes.
How about Ali Becky? Why not? Akron will have it out of the timeout. Visicki to inbound. Full court defense again by Ball State. And it's off the chest of Kiefer and back out. Akron just can't. I mean, they can't even leave the defensive side of the court right now. Ball State is just hunkered down completely, and that was almost another steal, but its opponent able to corral it. Murphy, the freshman, in for Akron out of the timeout, inbound to Visicki, and they pass the timeline. Top of the key. Mobley faked a pass to its opponent. She hands off to Hall. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Visicki, catch and shoot 3 near wing, no good. Rebound, Austin out of bounds off of her hands. It'll stay with Akron, and 20 seconds on the shot clock. 5:22 to go. Cards lead by 21.
We talked about the struggle that Akron has had getting the ball in on the other side. Well, Marie Kiefer is the one guarding the inbound, and she is very tall and lengthy.
Catch and shoot 3 again by Visicki. I mean, she grabs the pass and immediately chucks it. She made that one 12 points, 52-34. Bischoff thought about a 3 left wing, heads inside on Mobley. Tough layup off the corner, almost a wedgie, no good. Rebound Akron. Hall, Visicki, top of the key. Pass back to Hall, the redshirt senior. Cross court, left corner, 3 ball, no good by the freshman Liz Murphy. Jump ball on the rebound, and possession arrow points to Ball State. And we have another timeout here by Akron. You know, you cut the lead down to 18. While you have the momentum, you might as well talk to your team. You need a defensive stop. You need multiple. So I'm sure that Coach Gensler is drawing something up here during this break.
Yeah, I also think for them, if I'm in the huddle, you got to kind of look at this game as not worrying about the scoreboard right now. We need to play our basketball. We need to play at our tempo. We cannot allow the Cardinals to dictate the way that we play the rest of this game, because that's what the Cardinals like to do. They like to speed you up, slow you down. However they want to play, they're going to play that way. But the Zips found a good shot in that last possession. You said it. Brzezinski just catches the ball and lets that thing fly. And I was talking about the length that Marie Kiefer has, and she just nailed one right in her face. And so if they're able to get good looks like that or shots that just start to fall, I think you can slowly chip away at this lead and create a competitive basketball game once again. I think that's got to be the mindset and the goal for the Zips out of this timeout. And if you're the Cardinals, yeah, I don't think you need to really change anything. The intensity's been great. The defense, the discipline has been great. A lot of times when teams get amped up and there's a huge momentum changer, the discipline falls off. That is something that this Cardinal team does not lack.
For Akron, the message, get your foot on the gas pedal. For Ball State, keep your foot on the gas pedal. Brzezinski, you think she has a Hall of Fame catch and shoot badge?
It's got to be Hall of Fame, because that, I don't know how. When I play basketball, I do not have the instinct of catch and shoot. Like, I don't catch and let that thing fly. I'm looking to go off the dribble or make a pass, and she comes off one screen, no screens. Really, wherever she catches that ball, you got to have a hand up, because that shot likely is going to go up. And today, I mean, she's got 12 points. She's leading the way for Akron, and that was a big shot right there to cut it, not only just cut the lead, but just give your team some momentum and something to be excited about.
Akron still in their huddle as Coach Gensler has his arms wrapped around his 5 on the floor. 9-8, 3-2 in MAC play. There are 5 teams in the Mid-American Conference, 6 actually, who have a 3-2 record. It's important to not let a 2-loss record slip away. Down 18, 14 minutes, 48 seconds to go in this game. Coach Gensler knows the importance of mounting a comeback here.
Yeah, we've talked about it all night long, how important that 3-2 Mid-American Conference record really is and what you need to do. And I'm not sure if it's necessarily realistic to say we need to come back and win this game. I think, if anything, you need to challenge Ball State and compete to show yourselves and convince yourselves that you can compete in the Mid-American Conference and can compete, especially once we near the end and look towards February, late February and March.
Out of the timeout, Ball State has it, right to left. We're in the all-whites, gray numbers, red trim. Akron all blues, gold trim. Becky bounce past Kiefer at the near elbow. Give to Richard, back out Becky, far arc. Guarded by Hall. And a whistle down in the paint. Off ball, foul. They'll call that one on Alexis Mobley, her 4th personal. She is the 3rd Zip with 4 fouls in this one. And with that, Zakia Rashid will check in for Mobley.
Something that I love about women's college basketball is the fact that it's quarters. And so traditionally, you do not see teams get into the bonus until the 2-minute mark. But the Zips really struggling here early. They struggled early in the 3rd quarter and got into foul trouble. And that not only affects their team and who they can put on the court, but it definitely affects Ball State in a positive way, because all they need to do is draw a reach-in foul, and guess what? They're going to the line.
1-and-1 trip for Ball State. Other end, Akron catch and shoot 3 in the corner by Hall. No good. Rebound, Ball State. 53-34 the score. Cards chirping with 4:14 to go in the 3rd. Allie Becky, top of the key, past Bischoff. Down low, Kiefer in the restricted zone. Double teamed. Back out, Richard has some space. Tough shot, blocked by Toponen, and they will actually call it a foul. So that is another personal by this Akron Zips squad as they just You know, they can't get anything clean right now. That is their 18th personal, and that's the third by Vasicki. I mean, it's almost unbelievable how many fouls that this squad has.
Yeah, it's something worth being frustrated over if you're over there on the Zips bench, because you thought, especially from their point of view, that looks like a clean block, but the official that's sitting right behind saw where it just wasn't clean, and so frustration definitely is being shown from not only the people on the court, but the ones on the bench as well.
2 of 2 trip for Richards. Score is now 55-34, and a Cardinal foul in transition. Sorry about going out there on the mic. The mic actually keeps falling. I think it's a little loose. 3:58 to go in the third quarter, 21-point lead. Akron has it out of the inbound. Hall across the Cardinal logo. Becky takes a screen from Toponen. Murphy, the freshman, down low. Rashid doing some work on Austin. Restricted zone underhand layup, no good. Rebound, Ball State. Other end, Austin running across the timeline. Hezzy move down low, layup good. She's up to 8 points. Ball State's lead at 23 with 3:27 to go. Other end, Vasicki has it. Cardinal logo moving in on Austin. Overhead pass to Hall in the far corner, back to Vasicki in the left wing. Top of the key, Rashid, catch and shoot 3 over MJ, no good. Rebound, Ball State. That one's corralled by Alex Richard. Allie Becky bounce pass to MJ. Down low, hard fall to the ground, and a foul again by Akron. That one is on Zakia Rashid. They say her first. I have her marked with her second, but I'll trust the board operator.
This game was going at a pretty quick pace in the first half, and with all the foul trouble, man, it has slowed down here in the third quarter. That is not definitely something that the athletic team here at Ball State wants to see, because there's a men's game that's scheduled to tip off in just over an hour.
13 minutes to go in this game. We might be able to reach that. And you gotta remember, the teams have to warm up as well. MJ makes her first free throw, misses her second. Zuri Ransom's in the game for Alex Richard. Akron moving across the timeline. Rashid guarded by Austin in the perimeter. Vasicki deep in the left wing. Almost surprised she didn't take a catch and shoot 3 from that deep. Checking into the game is Ellen Kinneard, making her first minutes in this one. She sets a screen for Rashid. Left wing pass Hall. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Moving in on Ransom. Shot no good. Rebound to opponent off the glass and in. A good putback bucket, and Akron finally hits the board. 58-36. Cards lead, 2:27 to go in the third quarter. Believe it or not, that's the first bucket by 6'5" opponent. MJ at the MAC logo, down to the restricted zone, off the glass and in over to opponent. She has 3 points now in this one. 60-36, Ball State leads, 2 minutes to go in the third. Rashid, pass Kinneard. She leaves a bouncer for Hall. And now Toponen, top of the key. MJ hovering, pass to Rashid, tipped by Austin, remains with the Zips. Kinneard, 6 seconds on the shot clock, give to Vasicki, guarded by Becky. Moving in, step back, top of the key, 3, swish! Vasicki has no fear in this one. She's up to double digits, 15 points, correction. She has been at double digits. 90 seconds to go, 60-38, Ball State in this third quarter. Michelle Austin, guarded by Hall, top of the key, over to Ransom. Down low, Becky. Lost her handles, corrals it in the near corner. Signals for a play, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Out, Ransom, thought about a 3. Give, Bischoff, top of the key, 3 seconds. Moving in on Vasicki, spin around, near elbow, shot, good. Mid-range jumper, my battle in Bischoff. She's up to 18 points, the leading scorer in this one. 62-38, under a minute to go in the third. Rashid, pass to Vasicki. Left wing follows a Kinneard screen. Toponen, Kinneard, great feed down low, but she can't finish, and that's a huge miss by the Zips. That was a great play and a missed opportunity. 40 seconds to go, other end, Bischoff, left wing, moving in on Toponen. No good as Fashicki able to clean up down low. In transition, Rashid. 30 seconds in the third quarter. Hall. Left wing. Toponen, top of the key. Fashicki thought about a three over Becky. And of an offensive foul. Contact with MJ, sent her to the ground, and they will call it on Fashicki. And LJ, fourth Zip with 4 personals.
Yeah, it's discipline, something that's got to be worked on in practice. Got to work on the discipline. Allie Becky checks out as there is nothing on the clock. You see Grace Kingery and Sydney Bolden come in. Wonder who's going to get this one.
7 seconds. Kingery, the highest three-point percentage shooter on this team. Down low, MJ tied up in a jump ball. Fashicki getting her hands on the basketball from behind MJ's back. Possession arrow points to Akron, so they will get the last possession here. 2.1 to go in the third, but we do know with how tight Ball State's full-court defense is, this isn't guaranteed. Pass to Hall, 1 second, half-court shot, no good. And that is the end of the third stanza. 1 more to go. Ball State leads 62-38 over Akron. You're listening to women's basketball here on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Don't go anywhere.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least 1 Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pridemark Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards in everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pridemark Construction for your next building project and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State Sports with SportsLink Digital.
Welcome back to Worthen. 10 minutes to go here between Ball State and Akron. The Cardinals lead 62-38 in this Mid-American matchup. I'm Brayden Carroll, LJ Shrieve alongside, and LJ, the difference here in this game has really been fouls and turnovers. You look at it statistically, Akron way ahead of Ball State in fouls and turnovers, and that, you don't want to be ahead in that stat.
No, that's one of the stats those are some of the stats that you do not want to lead in. And it's come from just sloppy defense and communication. I think that's where the fouls have come from. Some of them are just frustration fouls, when you're getting beat by 62-38, and throughout the whole third quarter, that was pretty much the margin in the difference of scores. And so when you're getting beat like that by 20 or something around that area, you're going to commit silly fouls, and that's kind of what the Zips did in the third quarter and what allowed the Cardinals to get up into the bonus so early. I also think the turnovers, I don't necessarily see a ball handler for the Zips. They don't necessarily have someone who is a traditional point guard, who can distribute the ball. We've talked about the lack of assists for this Zips squad, and I think that correlates to them having a bunch of turnovers. When you do not have a traditional, typical point guard, you're going to turn the ball over a lot more than not.
Ball State with possession out of the quarter break. Moving right to left. On the court, Kiefer, MJ, who goes down low and makes a bucket just like that. Right when I called her name, that wasn't even intentional. Other players on the court for Ball State, Bolden, Kingery, and Austin. 64-38. Ball State leads here with 9:30 to go. Akron moving here. Shelby Brown, 3 ball. Near wing, no good. Rebound, MJ. Ball State has it. Austin running across the timeline. MJ moving inside in the restricted zone. Layup off the glass and good. So MJ, 4 points early here in the fourth quarter. And Ball State's lead is 66-38 now. 9 minutes to go. Rashid pass to Mobley. Over to Brown. Layup off the glass, she gets it.
Brown getting in foul trouble was such a disadvantage for the Zips early, because she had to come out very early into this game, which allowed the Cardinals just to take off in the second quarter. She's a very good player and showing that in the few minutes that she has played here tonight.
And MJ, again, 6 points out of Ball State, 6 out of the fourth quarter. Another one down low. 68-40, 8:30 to go. Other end, Akron has it. Shelby Brown doing some work down low on MJ. She can't get her bucket. Both teams trading baskets down in the paint. That one no good for Akron. Other end, Austin, she'll work in the zone, and she gets it. Ball State doing the dirty work here in the fourth quarter, showing that they have not lost any fight despite the massive 30-point lead. 4 Cardinals with double-digit points. Austin being the fourth with 10. 70-40, down low. Mobley has it for Akron. Rashid, she'll give to Nira Clark. And a whistle, a foul. That's the 5th on Clark. An offensive foul by Akron. I mean, it's defensive, it's offensive, it's nonstop for Akron. They just keep on fouling, and it felt like the dam was going to break at some point. Well, there you go, your first Zip fouling out.
Starting to leak for sure. I'm curious how many more Zips will join her there on the bench, but MJ Johnson feeling herself here in the fourth.
Absolutely. She's doing great work on both sides. Sydney Bolden, a whistle, and that time it's a foul on Ball State.
Yeah, that was a good catch there by the official. Tessa Towers, someone for this Ball State team, transfer in from Wisconsin, did not play really a whole lot at all at Wisconsin, coming in here and just slowly throughout the season in practice, just building her confidence and getting better and better. Coach Sally loves working with her, and the improvement that we have seen from her this season has been quite impressive.
Other end, Mobley gets a bucket at the MAC logo in the paint. She's up to 11 points. The second Zip with double-digit points in this one. 70-42, Ball State leads. Other end, a steal by Akron as a pass to Grace Kingery in transition from Sydney Bolden. Doesn't go cleanly. Zips on the other end. Mobley, near corner. She'll feed down to Brown. Spinning around Austin, Bolden correction, and she gets it to go. Go ahead. Yeah, give them credit, though. They haven't lost any fight.
100%, and another bucket there from Brown. She is just phenomenal.
Tessa Towers, other end for Ball State. Zips down, but certainly not out. And there's a tip out of bounds.
Just showing some heart and passion. Exactly what we talked about in the third quarter, what they needed to do. Just control what you can control and play your style of basketball. That's what they've done the past couple possessions. And it's just something to build off of heading into your next game.
Grace Kingery out of the inbound. Pass to MJ, top of the key. Back to Kingery, far wing. Tessa Towers spinning around to opponent and getting a hooker to fall. 4 points.
A nice shot there from Towers, something that is constantly being worked on in practice, and a soft touch
Other end, Akron has it. In the perimeter, it's Mobley. Doing some work, top of the key, pass to Brown. Guarded by MJ, moves in toward the baseline, spinning around, tough layup, not even close, but she's fouled by MJ, so that'll be 2 free throws.
Another good move there from Shelby Brown.
The good move being, I'd say, the foul, not necessarily the shot.
Not the
shot. If there was no foul, that would have been, I think, stunned silence from Worthington at how much of a miss that was, but
yeah,
call goes her way.
I don't know if it made it halfway to the basket from the right or the left block, but nevertheless, continuing to add to her points. She's up to 11. She has just played little minutes compared to what she usually does, only playing 13 minutes so far this game. She's up to 11 points.
Close to a point a minute. Misses that second free throw. Cardinals lead 72-45. Zuri Ransom pass, MJ down low, Towers too high as MJ says, my bad, to Towers down in the zone. A little too high of a pass, a turnover, and Akron will have it. 5:48 to go. Cards lead 72-45.
You can just see how much this Cardinals team wants Towers to get her opportunities as they are just constantly looking down low.
Toponen just inside the left wing. Mobley, she'll pass to Brown, 3 ball, near side, no good, rebound MJ. Ball State across the stripe, Zuri Ransom, the freshman, moving in on Mobley, tried to feed one to Bolden, turned over. Hall in transition, she'll slow things down, deciding not to take the transition layup. Pass out, catch and shoot, 3, good by Mobley. And a timeout here as Mobley gets up to 14 points. You know, you got to give Akron credit. I mean, there's not really much of a chance here to come back. You're down 24 points, but they haven't given up. They've showed no quit, and you look at the rest of their schedule moving forward. 10-5, Miami's next up on the 22nd. Then you host Buffalo, who's 14-2 right now. Then you play Bowling Green, Kent State, Western Michigan. Western Michigan's the only team on that schedule right now that has a losing record. They have a tough stretch coming up, and they know that they need to show 4 quarters here to have some confidence.
Yeah, I think I don't necessarily know what to take away from this game if you're Akron, because you had stretch, but also you were in so much foul trouble. Like, you didn't get to show your true team. So, I mean, you could obviously take away we need to be more disciplined and not commit as many fouls, but I do think that if you continue to do what they've done here in the 4th quarter, where they just play their style of basketball and get to their shots and get to their looks, and distribute the ball a little better than they have in the first 3 quarters, you will have some momentum built up and have some winnable games in front of you. Although they all have winning records and it's a tough schedule, but I think there are winnable games. The Miami one on the road, that's tough, but I think that's a game that they can win. And then the Buffalo game, that's going to test them there. And Buffalo's a really good team. We saw the Cardinals go there and take care of business, but Buffalo is a very good team and and a team to watch out for in the MAC. And they have some of the best guards in the MAC. They're very shifty, can create their own shots. And so if they can slow down the backcourt for the Bulls, the Zips will have a fair opportunity, and the Zips also will have a huge height advantage over the Bulls. Much shorter team. The Cardinals took advantage of that, and so if they're able to watch some of that tape and see what the Cardinals did well, I truly do think that the Zips can compete and take down the Bulls.
You know, if you're Coach Gensler, this is the exact type of film that you want to show your team, where you have positives, you have negatives, and then you have the score. So you can tell your team, hey, we had some good moments here, but the negatives that we had, the misses that we had, look at the score. Made a huge difference. Out of the timeout. On the floor will be Sydney Bolden, Tessa Towers, Grace Kingery, Zuri Ransom. And checking in for her first minutes of this ball game, Haley Smith, one of two twins. Olivia Smith, her identical twin sister, both from Fishers, Indiana, stars at Fishers High School, by the way.
Big time stars. And when you say identical twin, I don't know if I've ever seen twins that are more identical than these two. They look very, very similar. They dress the exact same. Thankfully, they wear different numbers.
30 and 31. Not much of a difference,
No.
but a difference enough. Grace Kingery passed to Bolden, top of the key, over to Haley Smith. Back to Ransom, bounce pass, Towers down low, outside of the zone, blocked by Toponen, out of bounds. He'll stay with the Cardinals. 7 seconds on the shot clock, 4:47 to go as that countdown seems like it's starting to begin. Just too big of a lead here for Ball State.
Toponen may have got a little bit on the arm there, but the officials letting this clock continue to dwindle down.
Tessa Towers, she keeps on doing work. Right before the shot clock ran out. Down low on the far block. She's up to 6 points. Cardinals lead 74-48, 4:30 to go. She's 2 points away from her season high. She had 8 against Anderson. She has 6 right now. Akron on the other end. Shelby Brown off the glass and in, moving in from the far side. Speedy movement. 74-50. Ball State leads. Ransom. Mid-range at the charity stripe, off the front, back of the iron. Correction, no good. Rebound Akron. Alexis Mobley, left wing, moving in, just in front of the free throw line, no good. Rebound by the Zips, a jump ball forced down by Haley Smith. Possession arrow, points to Ball State. Some substitutions here for the Zips. Visicki and Hall checking out of this one. And into the game for them is Liz Murphy, the freshman guard, as well as one more who will get a name on that soon. Akron out of the inbound, made by Alexis Mobley.
Beautiful back cut and delivery there from the Zips. Great execution.
They're doing some really good work down low, especially in the zone. They seem to be working the glass with some high efficiency here in the fourth quarter. A foul on the other end, and that's another player out for Akron. Alexis Mobley has her 5th. Checking in is Emily Hall.
Nothing but looks like just a frustrated laugh there from Coach Ginsler as he was frustrated. It looked like the jump ball that was called on the other end against his Akron Zips looked about the same down here, and he was frustrated that the call did not go their way.
The other player who checked in for Akron earlier appears to be Zakia Rashid. Ball State has it. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Haley Smith, top of the key. Bolden correction, takes a 3, no good. Shot clock violation as that was an air ball.
Yeah, good contest there from Rashid, as it looked like she may have got a piece of that one. And a good stop for the Zips.
Hall, other end for Akron. Toponen. Near elbow. Pass. Left wing. Shot by Murphy. No good. As I believe that was tipped by a Cardinal down low. Other end. Cards have it. Ransom. Far side. Bolden down low. Towers. Far block. Pass out to Kingery. She is stripped of the ball by Shelby Brown. In transition. Ransom's there. Gets past her. Can't finish at the cup. And a rebound by Ball State. Grace Kingery ending up with it. 2:30 to go. Ransom, pass, Bolden, open 3, far wing, no good. Rebound by Haley Smith. Back to Bolden, over to Kingery, and now Ransom resets. Give to Towers down at the MAC logo. Another hook shot. She gets it. 8 points, tying her season high. And she is cooking in this one.
Playing with the most confidence I've seen all year. And forcing a timeout.
Coach Gensler wanting to talk it over with his team. 2:11 to go. We are in the stretch here. Ball State leads 76-52 over Akron. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Ball State women's basketball on SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. And also, don't go anywhere because next up, Ball State men's basketball versus Toledo. Tip at 2 p.m. Rowan Elbert, Sam Egan on the call. We'll be right back here from Worthen Arena.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
Out of the break, Akron with it. 2:05 to go. The mic fell again from my face. We need to fix that. Ellen Kinnear doing some work down and fouled in the restricted zone. 2:01 to go. Ball State leads 76-52. That is the first personal by freshman Zuri Ransom. 2 free throws here for Ellen Kinnear, the senior guard. Hasn't gotten many minutes this season for the Zips, but she's doing some work here. She's seen the third and fourth quarter now of this one. First free throw good, without a problem. A high arcing free throw shot, by the way.
Yeah, that looked very smooth. Hand in the cookie jar, too, on the finish. She goes 2 for 2. Good fundamentals.
76-54, 2 minutes to go. Other end. Ransom. Feed to Towers. Here it is, her season high. Finishing in the zone. She has 10 points, her first double-digit affair of the season, and she beats that mark that she got against Anderson. 8 points, make it 10 today against Akron. And she ends up with the ball off of a steal. Fast break, Sydney Bolden, 90 seconds to go. Cards lead 78-54. Haley Smith pass to Zuri Ransom, down low, Towers. Can she do it again? She's fouled on the way by Taponin, so she will go to the line with an opportunity here.
Taponin looks like she is gassed and ready to be done with this, going down low to Tessa Towers, because she has been, the ball has gone her way almost every possession of this fourth quarter.
Correction, they called that one on the floor, so it will be an inbound here. Olivia Smith checks into the game. Zuri Ransom. So, by the way, both twins on the floor now. Mac Logo, mid-range jumper, a foul on Ball State. They'll say a bit of an elbow by Zuri Smith to Ellen Kinnear. That's the second personal by Ransom.
Yeah, I think that was the right call. Just a little too much oomph on that one.
Minute 10 to go. Akron down by 24. Taponin, top of the key. Feed to Rashid. She'll take a 3 over Olivia Smith. No good. Rebound, Kinnear. Out of bounds, stays with Akron as the fight between her and Bolden is won by Kinnear. Or I guess, can you say won? I mean, technically Ball State was the last one to touch it, but ultimately won by Akron. Far side inbound on the baseline. Gets it in cleanly to Taponin. Rashid, 3-ball, swish on the near wing. 78-57, her 6th point of this one. Other end, Zuri Ransom, pass to Haley Smith, over to Sydney Bolden. Down low, Tessa Towers, whistle, and a foul. That one's gonna be on Akron. And that is the 4th by Lisa Taponin. So make that 5 Zips with 4 or more fouls. Out of the inbound. Haley Smith's pass to Zuri Ransom ends up out of bounds. Kick ball on Akron. It'll stay with Ball State.
Finding different ways to drag this one out, you know, some fouls, some kick balls, some Ball's going out of bounds. It's quite impressive.
Olivia Smith shot out of the inbound, blocked by Toponin, rebounded by Towers. A reset here for Ball State. Olivia Smith has it again in the restricted zone. Tough shot, no good, and fouled on her way by Emily Hall. She will go to the line for 2 free throws. That's the second personal by the redshirt senior. You look at the upcoming schedule for Ball State. Next up is Toledo on Monday, Martin Luther King Day. That's an 11-4 squad, 4th in the MAC right now, 3-2, one of those 6 teams with that record in conference play. Then NIU, first free throw falls by Olivia Smith. This is her second game, only her second game with points this season. She had 8 against Anderson, now she has 1 against Akron. But it's a tough schedule for Ball State in the next 2 games. Second free throw falls as well.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see how they match up against this Toledo team on Monday. Should get a decent crowd. And that game will be covered right here, back on SportsLink Digital Radio.
Wonder who's on the call for that.
That is Daniel Sullivan, and then I will be back as his color.
There we go. 3 no good by Akron. That was attempted by Liz Murphy, and the clock is running out. Zeros, triple zeros, and Ball State wins another one at Worthen. 80-75 over the Akron Zips. 8-1 at home and 6-0 in Mid-American Conference play. This was dominant from the start by Ball State, and they just kept their foot on the gas pedal and outpaced Akron completely.
Yeah, it's tough to describe it any other way other than just domination. I mean, Ball State dominated. The first quarter was competitive, but outside of that, the Cardinals kind of took off.
Got to ask you, LJ, there are a lot of players who could be worthy of this one, but who is your player of the game from Ball State?
Man, well, after seeing what's going on right here, they somehow have lifted Tessa Towers into the air. The squad gets her off her feet. I think some other good players to pick, though. Maddie Bischoff played with confidence, played smooth, and she's just getting back from a broken wrist injury. Only a couple games back, and she is playing very well. So if I had to take a player of the game, I'm going to take Maddie Bischoff, but right behind her, Tessa Towers, playing with confidence. And I don't know if there was anyone more excited for her than Alex Richard. Was fired up for Tessa Towers. The whole team fired up as well, and there's no reason not to. They get another MAC win, stay undefeated, and stay on top.
Madeline Bischoff, 18 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And Tessa Towers, 10 points, 5 of 5 from the field. Great work all around. Starters to bench. LJ, any final words before we sign off?
Nothing too special. It was a fun broadcast, Brayden. You did a great job. The team, both teams here, really, it was a very fun first half. The Zips shown that they can compete, but just don't necessarily have the legs to do it right now. And the Cardinals continue to show why they are at the top of the MAC and one of the top mid-majors in the country.
That will do it for our coverage of this one. Ball State wins it over Akron, 80-57 to improve to 14-4 in conference in overall record, 6-0 in conference play. Akron falls to 9-9 and 3-3 in the Mid-American Conference. Don't go anywhere. Or, well, here's the protocol. So we will end this stream, and then another stream will start in about 15-20 minutes for the men's basketball game versus Toledo. Tip is at 2 p.m. I would assume nothing's changing here, as this one ended with plenty of time before the initial tip-off announcement. The call will be Rowan Elbert, play-by-play, and Sam Egan with color commentary. It should be a fun matchup as Mid-American play continues to roll on in Worthen Arena. Thanks for listening to this presentation of Ball State women's basketball here on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. For LJ Shrieve, I'm Brayden Carroll saying so long from John E. Worthen. Have yourself a weekend.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.